What's going on, Wolfman fans? This is about the third time I've recorded this video, but that's okay. I keep getting to the point where I trail off into, you know, way off in left field, and I know I've lost my train of thought, so I know damn sure you guys can't follow anymore at that point. So I have to, I have to keep on the topic. First and foremost, I haven't posted in a long time. You guys that have been subscribed to me for a while, you guys know that on occasion I tend to deal with depression, and it pops up at random. It's hard to say what will trigger it, but what'll be the end result is I become distant, aloof, and I kind of live in a state of self-imposed isolation. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to interact with anybody. I just retreat into myself. And as a side effect, I usually get some sort of insomnia. It's where I only get a few hours of sleep every day. So, and that may not even be consecutive hours. You get an hour here, an hour there, whatever. But that's it. And I stopped, I've been on a keto diet lately, and I stopped caring about that too. I stopped trying with that, and I kind of just do what I do. That's kind of what's been going on with me. So, not that you asked, but look, depression is a thing. Sometimes it's good to talk to people. Make sure they're all right. That's all. Anyways, look, what did I want to talk about today? It's interesting to me. I got in a conversation with an individual the other day, and this was on Facebook. I had been scrolling around on Facebook, and I ran across this guy who had posted. It was a picture he posted of you guys know the famous picture Tank Man, the Tiananmen Square incident in China back in the 50s or 60s. The man who stood there in the path of the tank, wouldn't let the tank pass. Well, and he made some kind of he somehow translated that to what's going on in America today. Basically calling Trump, a fascist, militaristic, whatever. Who's sending, federal forces against peaceful protesters and stuff. I'm like, what's interesting? And I made a comment. First off, disregarding the fact that the Tiananmen Square incident and what's going on in the United States right now have little to no correlation. It's interesting how Trump, in every facet, he seems to never be able to do anything right by these people. There's riots, looting, cities being burned to the ground. If Trump does nothing, he doesn't care about the people. If he does something, if he tries to force some kind of a federal response, like sending in some kind of a federal troops or something to try to quell that situation, he's seen as a fascist. And he's stifling the rights of the people. Just the man can't do any right. What do you want from him? It's just like the people who say they want to ban the police. They ban the police. They say ban the police, defund the police. Shut down the police departments. We don't need police. Until they get involved in one of these riots, and they get injured, they get hurt. Somebody has shot them, assaulted them, and then they're crying for the police. They want justice. Point blank, these people out there protesting and committing violent acts and burning down towns, burning down cities, these people don't know what the hell they want. They're a prime example of people who have to be told what their values are because they don't know. And that there's groups of people that are mixed in with them that are bussed in from other places and are given weapons and they're told go ham. They're paid to do it. Paid agitators. That we have proven these people exist. And then there's a bunch of slick-brained idiots out there that run up in the same situation and they join in. But when they get injured and they get hurt and they can't understand why it happened, I don't get it. It must be Trump's fault. That's the craziness. That's what we're living in right now. And what's worse is you have people in your government who are propping them up, saying these people they're largely peaceful. They just want to be heard. No, they want to loot, riot, destroy property, and hurt people. That's what they want to do. And they don't want to have their actions called on them. They don't want to be held accountable for having gone out there and just run amok. You have a group of paid agitators mixed with a group of people who just want to go out there and loot and burn and destroy and get away with it, mixed with some weird, idiotic, college kids who actually think they're protesting and making a difference. And they're so incorrigible, they're so easily malleable that this is how they think this goes down. And people in government's not going to change your way of thinking about it. They're going to let you think, no, they're peaceful protests. It's hysterical. There's been news things. I wish I could put them on the screen right here, but I'm just doing this on my phone. CNN out there. In the background, buildings and cars on fire. It said, aside from flame, it said, fiery but largely peaceful protest. What? Fiery but largely peaceful. That was like the dude that got shot recently in Minneapolis. The one that everybody burnt, not Minneapolis, I'm sorry, Kenosha, Wisconsin. That one. Everybody burned down Wisconsin basically because of it. They found that he actually had a knife in his car, on the floorboard of his car. And he was most likely reaching for it. Said aside from the knife, he was unarmed. Do you think we're stupid? I mean, apparently they do, and I guess they have good reason to. There's plenty out there who are genuinely that dumb. But I would say for the most part, we're not that stupid. So what's going on here? But these are people that are running your country. These are people that are getting voted in consistently. We keep giving them our votes. And the truth is, these people are psychopaths. They are psychotic. It's like you elected Ted Bundy to the head of your neighborhood watch. These people, just like a serial killer. What does a serial killer look like? Looks like everybody else. You don't know. He's not wearing a sign around his neck, that's for sure. Ted Bundy, he's a good example just because the man was clean cut, well spoken, well dressed, very personable, outgoing. Man worked at a suicide crisis hotline. Who would have expected, who would have thought that this guy would turn out to be the monster that he was? John Wayne Gacy, pillar in the community, business owner, family man, used to throw parties for his friends and family. He used to entertain children dressed up as a clown, back when that wasn't a creepy thing to do. But he just seemed like a great guy. Look at him. The same kind of individuals are right now sitting in your House of Representatives, in the Senate. They're in your city, your local city and state governments. They're all over. Psychopaths that see themselves as above you and worth more than you. They don't care about you. You're at the bottom. Nancy Pelosi and her big walled off, gated, well manicured, beautiful estate. Meanwhile, outside there in California, you've got tent cities full of homeless. People urinating and defecating in the streets. Cracked out, smacked up, wigged out drug addicts wandering aimlessly. Needles in the street. Piles of trash. Rats. There's probably, dark age diseases running around that we don't even know about. That's a guess, but who knows? It could be happening. A new bubonic plague still exists. So there you go. But look, guys, this is these people that are still up there in government. Trump is doing his best to weed these people out. Now, you guys know, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not either. I'm a constitutional conservative. I believe in the Constitution as a living document and the founding documents of this land. And it is still valid. That's why everybody, and military, government, everything, they take an oath to uphold, support, and defend, and uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. Most of them are not doing what they swore to do. Most of those individuals. I believe in that. And yes, I'm a conservative. Just how I am. It doesn't mean I have anything against progressive ideas, but as you know, progressive, the way I think, progression for the sake of progression is a bad thing. Moving forward just because simply you need to move forward doesn't work. That's just asking for trouble. It's just asking for problems. But I believe in a good conservative, a good foundation to build this house on. You have to have that. That's what I believe in. And I believe in the Constitution. So there you go. But right now, I believe that Trump is the best thing we got. Sure, he's crass. Sure, he's a little bit brash, man. He flies off at the handle. But he's unapologetic. He's unapologetically American, unapologetically a patriot. And he fights for this country, like it or not. You may think he's an asshole, but he's an American and he fights for this country. Truly does. And you say that his cabinets and stuff, he's had a lot of scandalous incidents. He's letting these people shoot themselves in the foot. And they continue to do so. We have seen that countless times. In the last 4 years, we have seen these people just continually shoot themselves in the foot. They're just crazy. They're just stupid enough to do it. And they're crazy enough, they're psychotic enough to think that they can lie and get out of it. Not this time. Or at least I really hope not. And I hope you guys are paying attention. If you're paying close enough attention, we can get rid of the psychopaths. We can get them out of office. And we can take this country back to where it's supposed to be. I'm not talking back to some wonderful... For all you BLM activists out there, some, white ethno-state and enslaving the colored folk. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is a country that is truly free, where people aren't seen as commodities anymore. That's a truth. You think I'm joking about that? Go look it up. Part 2, your birth certificate. Look it up. We're commodities. We are tradable commodities. Slavery didn't end. Just got a little more complicated. And it's got extended to everybody. But anyways, moving on from that. You guys go look that up. I'm not even joking about that. Part 2 of your birth certificate. Do some Googling. Do some researching. Anyways, moving on. Look, we're trying to get these psychopaths out of office and destroy what they've tried to build. And stop their plans for some messed up communist system. You think it's gonna? There's people out there. Oh, it'll be a utopia. There's no such thing. There never will be. Why? Because people exist. Humans exist. Human nature is a thing. You can't get rid of human nature. There's going to be psychotic, sociopathic, selfish, self-centered individuals. That's going to happen. Now, what can happen? What is a very huge possibility that can actually happen is the complete opposite of a utopia. It's a dystopia. The dystopia is insanely possible. It is very possible, and if things keep going the way that they have been going, it's less of just being possible. It begins to become probable. Some think we're already living in a dystopia right now. And in some ways, I would be inclined to believe in them. You're already being watched all the time, recorded all the time. Everything you say, do, and everything in life is being controlled, is being monitored. And they can come and pick you up in the middle of the night and take you away with no reason. It has happened. We're trying to fight against that. But you need to first get the psychopaths out of government. Get these psychotic individuals out of government. We need to put a stop to the psychopaths that aren't in government but that seem to have a lot of influence. Bill Gates is one of those individuals. The Clintons right now are those individuals. They've been involved in government, but they're not at the moment. They still hold a lot of sway, and they are lunatics. We have to stop those individuals. They have dark plans, and they will continue to try to push those dark plans on us. So, November comes around, do your part. Make sure you're voting. And vote in local elections too, for town, city council, aldermen, whatever, your state governor, state representatives. Vote as often as you can, and inform yourself. Know what's going on around you. Google these things. Google right now has been unlocked, and you can search virtually anything. And they're not right now. It's not being censored like it was. Check it out. Do your research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Use that big thing in between your ears. God put it there for a reason. Don't let it go to waste. Use your brain. You're literate. You can read. That's a wonderful gift. People take it for granted. Use that skill. Do some reading. Do some research. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully I'll put another video out here before too long again. Again, I'm sorry it's been a while. I've been just dealing with my own personal whatever. I hope you guys are doing all right, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, you guys stay awesome, take it easy, keep your head on a swivel. Later.